Good morning. I'm up at Lake Cobbler, just grabbing a few of my food, well, a couple of food drums that I had for my ill-fated Alpine track misadventure. And I thought I'd do a walk up to Mount Cobbler while I'm here. We'll see how we go. There's been a bit of snow. There's actually a bit of snow down around the lake here in spots. So I don't know how I'm going to go climbing up the top. I haven't got my snowshoes with me today. But we'll see how we go. We'll give it a go. Can always come back. So I'm going to head up the, I think it's Speculation track, and then meet that track up near Mustering Flat and swing back over, well, around towards Cobbler. We'll see how we go. If it gets too hard, I'll just have to come back the same way. So I'll do a bit of a video. It's a sensational day up here. There's obviously no one around. So this is Lake Cobbler. It's looking good this morning. Definitely had some snow up here yesterday. This is the hut up here. I'll be coming in from over there. I'm heading out that way. All right, let's start walking. So this is the hut. It's like open-sided. Last time I was here, it was a four-wheel drive stuck, like camped here, so I couldn't get in. They have redone the fireplace. It looks like they've put a floor on it, and that wall's been fixed, although someone's already pulled a bit off. So yeah, it's good to get out of the shelter, but you can drive here. Well, four-wheel drive here even in winter. So take that into account. All right, I'm gonna start my four-wheel drive bash, I guess. So this is the outlet of Lake Cobbler. You've got to ford this to get into the camping area. It's normally not too bad. I think I can skip across here with dry feet today. But maybe I won't film at the same time. Actually, before I cross the creek, I mentioned on one of my other videos, this little camping here is best if you're bushwalking, because the four-wheel drives can't get in there, because these rocks used to be across the little driveway here. They're not anymore, they've been moved. So yeah, if you're hoping to camp away from the four-wheel drives and the people here, I'm not sure. You'd have to probably maybe head up into the bushes there somewhere, but there's not a lot of flat ground up there. Anyway, I digress. Let's get on with it. Okay, I'm past the gate. There's the lake down there, Lake Cobbler. So now I'm just climbing. I think this is Speculation Road, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the one that runs up towards Mount Speculation. Obviously it's closed in winter. So I'm gonna do a fair bit of my climbing on this track, and then I'll kind of undulate across back towards Mount Cobbler, and then I'll do a side trip up to the top if there's not too much snow. We'll see how we go. Okay, excuse me. I've broken the back of the climb up Speculation Road. Got about 10 minutes to go, and I'll swing off to the right into the scrub. It's been there's been no real snow on the track. There's been a couple little patches, but nothing to worry about yet. So I've still got dry feet. Mind you, I'm wearing trail runners today, and I've got waterproof socks on, so I think my feet will probably stay dry all day. Unless the snow gets real deep. Yeah, spoke too early. well, I'm pretty well up the fire track though. Just up and around this corner and I'll swing to the right. So if anyone's coming up here, I'm about 4.5 k's from the camp at Lake Cobbler. This is the track I'm looking for. It's not signposted. There is a flat, like a camping kind of flat and snow grass up here. And there is a sign on the edge of the little snow plain pointing towards Mount Cobbler. But where it leaves Speculation Road, there's no signpost. Okay, this is the flat that I was talking about. It's in summer when the tracks are open. This isn't a bad one to camp at. It's not normally too many four-wheel drives up here. So when I came from Buller Huts, I camped here and just did a loop over Cobbler and down past Lake Cobbler and back up to here. All right, this is the signpost I was talking about. Okay, I'm climbing again now. So I'm heading up to, I don't know if I mentioned it, a track junction. Track to the left goes up to Mount Cobbler. Track to the right goes back to the lake, which is the way I'll drop down. So we'll see how the snow is when I get there. If I can go up Cobbler, I will. But if not, I'll just duck back down to the lake. I'm still going pretty good at the moment. So that's where I'm hoping to get to, and we shall see. So it's getting a little tougher now. Snow's about 20 centimetres deep, mostly. Every now and then it goes up over my knee. Definitely could have used snowshoes on this bit. But anyway, we'll keep pushing on for a bit longer yet. I'm still nice and warm. Okay, this is the track junction. Mount Cobbler's up there. The lake's over there. I've come from up here. I'm gonna go as far as I can up to Mount Cobbler. We'll see how we go. There's some pretty deep drifts I'm wading through at the moment. But it is a magic day, so I'm in no real hurry. So since I joined that Lake Cobbler track back at that track junction, it's actually been a little bit easier. I'm climbing higher, the snow's getting deeper, but there's been people through here. So not since the snow yesterday, but it's a little bit more compacted in spots as he sinks down to his knee. But yeah, so still going okay, still keeping on climbing. We'll keep going for a bit yet. Okay, that tree line up there is as far up as I'm going to go. That's the summit. Well, there's a double barrel summit, but the second one is going to be way too dodgy in the ice and snow. It's a bit of scrambling involved over some big drops. So if I can get up there, I'll be pretty happy. Once I get across this soft bit here, I think I'll be okay. We shall see. So that's actually the highest peak over there. However, I'll get up a little bit further and I'll show you what's between me and that. Looks easy from here, but it's not. So that little saddle down there is where you have to drop into to climb up through those rock bands to the top over there. I'm not doing that, it's too dodgy. However, this summit up here is pretty much the same height. So we'll go up here, it's a lot safer. So that's Lake Cobbler down there. View. Okay, on my way down. It won't be a quick trip, but probably a little bit easier than wading up through this stuff. So there's Lake Cobbler down in that valley where I got to head to. However, I've got a fair walk to get down there. At least I don't have to worry about nav. Okay, I'm back at that track junction. So I came in from down there. Lake Cobbler's down there. And Mount Cobbler is up there. So in theory, I've just got to walk downhill now, but it'll be soft. Anyway, all good. Let's get on with it. At least some people have walked up there this winter. So that track I came across from Speculation Road doesn't look like it's been walked. Well, not since there's been a fair bit of snow anyway. This one I can see where people have been walking. It's a little bit more compacted so far. So it'll only get better as I get lower down. Anyway, I might not film because I might end up going arse over in on the ice and snow. There's some track markers on this one too, by the look of it. There you go. Okay, I'm out of the worst of the snow now. I've got like a muddy, wet trench to walk in for the most part. That's all right, it's better than snow. I've got a river crossing coming up too, so that may be interesting. I think it'll be fine. But whether it's good enough I can get across with dry feet will be the next question. Although, having said that, waterproof socks will still keep my feet dry. I can feel the coolness in my shoes, but I can't, they're not wet. Well, the inside of my foot, inside of my sock isn't wet. If that makes any sense. Okay, almost out of the snow. I'm dropping into this little gorge where I cross, I think this is the Dongadale River, but I'm not 100% sure. The track actually gets a little bit vague here. It kind of goes up that other side of the gorge on a bit of a ledge. The ledge is just over there. But when you get down in the gorge, it's a bit hard to kind of see. I end up at the top up there. Well, scratch what I said about that route out of the gorge. They've changed the track. I'm heading upstream a bit. I'm going to cross above the gorge by the look of it. Well, the track's probably been here forever, but they've cleared this bit, so it's obvious. Alright, this should be fairly straightforward. There's the track over there. So I've come from up there. This is that ledge, kind of out of that gorge. This is definitely the old track because there's a track marker on that tree there. Anyway, this is where the two routes rejoin. Let's go climb up here and then start the final drop down to the car park, I think. Okay, last creek crossing, and I'm back. Alright, time to spin the camera around. Sign off and get out of here before the deer come out, I reckon. Okay, that walk, that little Mount Cobbler, Lake Cobbler walk came to about 13 k's, about 640 metres climbing. I've done it before, but I've never done it in winter. So yeah, look, if there's any train spotters out there, I think the highest, slightly higher summit is across that deep saddle. It's just a bit too dodgy with all the ice on the bare rock. For me in winter, maybe you'd need crampons. I don't think, well, when it's iced over like it was today anyway, I'm not sure microspikes will even get you through there. All right, It was pretty good up Speculation Road was pretty easy. There was a bit of snow, but nothing to worry about. From the section from Speculation Road across to the track junction down to Lake Cobbler, that was probably the hardest. Well, that was getting hard across there because no one had walked across there, I don't think, this winter. So there was nothing compacted. Initially, from the track junction up to Mount Cobbler, so the side trip up the Cobbler, it wasn't too bad. I could see where people had kind of pushed through. The snow was a little bit compacted, but as I got higher, I'm not sure whether the people have turned back or just the snow was deeper. It got a little bit deep there for a while. I was scouting around looking for some firmer snow. It would have been, that section would have been, snowshoes would have been handy, but to be honest, I would have only used them for 10 minutes of the whole walk. So I don't know. I just kind of ploughed through post-old occasionally. All right, this is a good one. It's a long way from anywhere though, and there's a lot of deer in these hills, so I'm going to get out of here. I will catch you on the next one. Take it easy.